Well, folks, a wet spring over much of the eastern Corn Belt has made it a challenge for growers in that region to get their crops in and get them up looking well. Recently, I had the chance to see that firsthand by visiting with Brian Brown in Ohio.
We're here in southern Ohio. We grow corn, beans, and wheat. We've been farming in this location since 1929.
This growing season here in 2025, Brian, has certainly been challenging, at least to the start of the year. What have you seen here in Ohio? How has it impacted your planting progress?
Yeah, so kind of isolated to a fairly small pocket in southern Ohio. We've had a lot of moisture, more so than a lot of areas. So getting crops in the ground has really been a struggle this year.
From a fungicide perspective, Brian, when did you start applying fungicides to your crops?
Well, we probably started putting on fungicides. We were probably talked into it around 2012, and we started noticing immediate results. So we have a very high gray leaf spot stress here, and that really helped mitigate that quite a bit.
What fungicides are you using on the farm today?
So we use Miravis Ace and Miravis Neo.
How has Miravis Neo given you an edge, have you noticed?
We've been able to keep those leaves nice and green when they need to be, and really help to increase our bushels that way. In beans, we've also really noticed frog eye leaf spot. We struggle with that, and we've noticed a huge difference. 10 bushels, which in beans is a lot bigger deal than 10 bushels in corn. So.
It certainly is. And as you think about the seasons and when to apply that fungicide, do you wait until you have disease pressure actively happening, or is it a preventative measure for you here on the farm?
So that used to be our approach, and now we've kind of started to try to use it more as a preventative measure, maybe get out there a little early and then come back in right, especially with corn, right as we're starting to tassel.
Brian, you're not just a farmer. You're also very active on social media, particularly on YouTube with Brian's farming videos. How'd you get into that space?
Well, in 2018, I was kind of just messing around with the camera. I was watching a lot of non-farm vloggers, and I was like, well, that looks kind of interesting. And I kind of tried to start doing what they were doing. I realized I was absolutely terrible at it. But trying to get better at that, I was trying to put together like an outdoor YouTube channel, because that was something I was passionate about off the farm. So to try to get better at that, I started filming a wheat harvest one year. And I was like, I'm gonna be doing this every day. This will be perfect. I can get a lot of reps in trying to be a vlogger. Well, I started posting those, and I realized that at that time, I didn't have any name recognition or anything. So the only people who were watching it were family and friends, and I realized they didn't know what we were doing. My own mother-in-law, she had no idea why we did what we did, when we did. Every year I'd get asked, when can we go on vacation? I'm like, well, if you want to go on vacation, these are terrible months to go. And I kind of realized that if people that I'm close with that know me well don't know much about agriculture, a lot of the people, especially in this area, I mean, as you can see, we're kind of on the edge of farm country, don't know a whole lot about it either. I was kind of thinking, maybe if they learn, they'll get out of my way when I'm driving down the highway.
Have they been getting out of your way?
No, it hasn't really helped there.
Brian, before we let you go, you mentioned the partnership you've had with Syngenta, the work you've done with Miravis Neo. What's it been like working with the Syngenta team? Have they been helpful, the personnel on Syngenta's staff, to get you pointed in the right direction?
Yes, they've always worked with our supplier. I've talked to their agronomist several times, and yeah, he's always been very helpful. Anytime we had questions, he's always had answers. So.
If folks are curious more about Syngenta or Miravis Neo, where would you send them?
I'd send them to Syngenta US/Miravis Neo.